Bivol. It's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, consider this, because this will be my last video that goes up on this channel before the turn of the new year. So listen, we started this year on True School Sports talking about the light heavyweight division and Canelo Alvarez. We will end this year on True School Sports talking about the light heavyweight division and Canelo Alvarez. You know, we going out the same way we came in. You feel me? So listen, man. A lot of people I've been seeing a lot on these channels are doing the end of the year awards, and I've done those a couple times, but I'm not doing them this year because it's, you know, I'm already in next year. Okay. But I've seen a lot of people try to rewrite history and rewrite the narratives of certain fights in boxing. Now, there were a lot of great fighters in boxing. There were a lot of great moments in boxing this year, as there are every year. There were some disappointments. There were some many highs, and there were some many lows. But make no mistakes about it. When we talk about 2022, and the history books is written, and the question is asked, what happened in the year 2022? The answer to that question is quite simply that 2022 was the year that Canelo was exposed by Bivol. You feel me? I'm wearing this shirt. For those that know, you know the shirt. Canelo exposed by Bivol. That was 2022 in a nutshell, because let's talk about it, man. Coming into the year, you know, Canelo Alvarez hadn't lost since he lost to Floyd. He had this, not with me, but with many people out there, he had this aura of invincibility, like he couldn't be beat. Like they were already talking about before the fight, you know, they were looking past Bivol. They were talking about him going up to cruiserweight and fighting Alexander Usyk. That's the kind of aura of invincibility Canelo Alvarez had with most boxing fans. Now, he was fighting Bivol. He chose the DAZN deal, which, you know, came under a lot of criticism. You know, he had the option to take the Showtime deal, which would have included, I believe, Benavidez and Charlo, if I'm not mistaken. He chose the DAZN deal, which was Bivol and Golovkin, the third fight. Now, I didn't like the fact that he chose his own deal. I will not be disingenuous. I'll tell you the truth. I didn't like it because I didn't think Bivol was going to get a decision. And I thought the Golovkin fight was, you know, a pointless-ass third fight, to be honest with you. Now, I was right about the second part, because the Golovkin-Canelo 3 was a pointless-ass third fight. No doubt about it. One of the most pointless big fights in 2022. No ifs, ands, buts about it. But why I was so happy to be wrong, where justice prevailed, because you got to understand what Bivol was up against. To really understand the magnitude of what a great win this was for Dmitry Bivol, you got to understand what he was up against. And I'm gonna paraphrase some of what Ring Magazine writer Tom Gray said. So shout out to Tom Gray. Tom Gray talked about this on Twitter recently. There was a lot going on in the world. You know, I'm not gonna get into the politics part of it, but you know, there was a big war in Ukraine and Russia. And the peak of that was around the time when this fight happened. So there was a lot of negativity in boxing towards Russian fighters because of that war, you know. Got so crazy to the point where Bivol didn't even have his national anthem played during the fight. So you're talking about a Russian fighter, you know, a Russian fighter fighting the cash cow of boxing as the B-side, at the height of a war that he has nothing to do with, of course, but a war with with his country that pretty much made him a target of the establishment, so to speak, right? And what did he do? He went in there and he boxed such a great fight, such a beautiful fight, such a pristine, perfect, virtuoso, masterclass, masterpiece performance, a jab dominant, feint heavy, you know, just rhythmic, you know, chess match of a boxing display from Dmitry Bivol. He boxed so well in an intelligent manner. It was such an exhibition of this sweet science of boxing, this sweet science of pugilism, that they just couldn't take the fight from him, and they had to give it from. Now, it was pretty damn close. I can't remember the scores right now, but I know, like, one judge may have had it like 115, 113 or some shit like that. Like there were some pretty egregious cards, but the fact of the matter is, and the point remains, Dmitry Bivol beat Canelo Alvarez. And the people don't like when I say this, but we'll say it one last time. We're going out the way we came in. We're going out the way we came in 2022. All right? Canelo exposed by Bivol, because that's what he was. You know, you guys downplayed a lot of fighters that people wanted to see, because that's what led to this. A lot of people at this time were clamoring for Canelo to fight Benavidez. People like myself were clamoring for him to fight Andrade. Some were clamoring for Beterbiev. And he decided to fight Bivol. Now, Bivol is a great fighter. There's no doubts about that. But if you look at the fights leading into the fight with Canelo Alvarez, you know, look at the fight against like Umar Salamov, Craig Richards, these kind of fights that he had leading into the fight. Bivol was winning and he was doing his thing, but he wasn't necessarily like lighting the world on fire. And in the case of the Craig Richards fight, you know, he looked, you know, not like a A-level fighter, you know, just being honest. So that's a big reason why people who have never really been the fondest of Canelo, like myself, that's why we think that basically he chose it his own deal, because Golovkin he was never going to lose, because he was going to fight him at 168, a weight that classic Golovkin never competed in. And two, you know, Bivol he looked kind of pedestrian for a guy of his ability in the last couple of fights. So it gave Canelo that confidence to take the fight, even though he was still a really good fighter. So it was a calculated risk, and one that backfired greatly. So much so to the point that Canelo Alvarez has had to seek professional help for his psychological state of being. So hopefully he gets better, because boxing needs Canelo in 2023. Because if we leave it up to the two divas at 147, it ain't gonna happen. You know, as far as big time boxing is concerned. Fury wasn't able to make the big fights that he needed to make in the heavyweight division this year. So as much as I don't want to admit it, Canelo boxing kind of does need Canelo as far as big time boxing is concerned. But he did get exposed, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, and no amount of revisionist history will change that. So my parting shot for the year, God bless everyone, happy 2023. My parting shot for the year is Canelo exposed by Bivol from now to the end, to Kingdom Come, all 2022 and beyond. So, yeah, leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take time to subscribe, and I'll see you in 2023.
Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this video, click right here and make sure you subscribe. Much love from sunny South Florida.